We talked to so many members who love the Lunch and Go sessions. I'm with Conor Cunneen. Conor, what are you going to share with people today?
I'm not sure, Evan, to be honest with you. No, I'm actually going to be talking about a concept about engaging your employees and getting great customer service through the gift of GAB.
Oh, tell me more.
The GAB is actually an acronym, Evan, for goals, attitudes, behaviour. And if you adapt this concept of goals, attitudes, behaviour, it really does help you to get more engaged employees. And if you've got more engaged employees, you're going to get better customer service. And if you get better customer service, well, you're going to grow your business as well.
Any ways that particularly plays out, you think, in a retail environment?
Absolutely, because I think everyone has got to have clear goals. So, for instance, during the session, I'll be asking the members, what do they want to be famous for? That's kind of the goal I put to them. And if they know what they want to be famous for, i.e. a retail hardware outlet that provides great customer service, the best in the district, if that's the goal, let's work on making that goal happen. And I provide them with a number of daily micro goals that everyone can do, that everyone can put to their employees to help them to create that better customer service.
What do you think of this format? Them getting to eat, listen to you?
I don't think it's fair. I'm starving and they're eating. This isn't good enough, Evan. But it's really good though, because I think people need to get away from the marketplace. I mean, it's tiring walking those halls, speaking to vendors, right, exhibiting yourself, etc. Having the chance to sit down here, communicate, network with other friends, and then get some, what I believe is really good ideas that will help them to bring the gift of GAB to their retail outlet, that will help them to grow their business. So it's an excellent format.
If you ask yourself, what do I want my attitude to be when things go wrong? You're not going to say, I want to be annoyed, I want to be upset. When you ask yourself the question, what do I want my attitude to be? You're more likely to say, I don't want to be angry, I don't want to be annoyed about this. And having answered that way, you will make some effort not to be angry and not to be frustrated. I'm not saying it's a panacea or a cure-all, but it does work. And I'll give you an example where it helped me a couple of years ago. I was driving in the western suburbs of Chicago in heavy rush hour traffic. Came to a set of traffic lights, turned left at the traffic lights, and a few seconds after turning left, I noticed in my rear view mirror a mobile discotheque. Cop car, flashing lights. So I pulled to the slower lane, he pulled to the slower lane. And I remember saying to myself, well, Holy St. Patrick and St. Bridget. Bit of respect there, please. Holy St. Patrick and St. Bridget, what could that fine officer of the law want from an upstanding citizen like me? Now, that was the gist of what I was thinking. I may have said just one four-letter word. But for those of you whose mind is in the gutter, the word was oops. Which, as you all know, stands for uh-oh, police, stop. Right. So I pulled into a little small parking lot at the side of the road, and as I was pulling in, I said to myself, now why does he want to speak to me? And the only reason I could figure why he might want to speak to me was when I had turned left at the traffic lights. They were slightly red, but not by a whole lot now, mind you. So he is there on his computer checking me to see if, in my case, I'm a member of the Irish Republican Army, or even worse, a Cubs fan. Go White Sox! I have to tell you, depending on who I'm speaking to, I obviously try and put in a kind of an answer to that gets a reaction. But when I was speaking up near the Green Bay area a couple of years ago, I made the comment that the cop was checking to see if I was a member of the Irish Republican Army, or worse, a Packers fan. I didn't think I would get out of that room alive. So he was there checking my computer to see what my record was like. And I asked myself the question that I said you should ask when things go wrong. So I asked myself the question, what do I want my attitude to be? And I said there's no point in being antsy and annoyed about this. He probably doesn't understand the concept of slightly red lights. So in my side mirror, I see him walking up towards me. And this being Chicagoland area, I prayed that he had an Irish name. I pray that he had this vision of Ireland that the roads are still unpaved, that milk is brought to the creamery via donkey and cart, and that traffic lights, if they exist at all, are, well, basically advisory. I look up, Officer Schmidt, who proceeded to tell me in minute detail what I had done wrong. He asked for my license and he asked for my insurance. Now, none of this is made up, I promise you. I had asked myself the question, what do I want my attitude to be? As he is looking at my license, he says to me, "Sir, I like your attitude." I'm thinking, woohoo, I'm getting away with this. Then he looks at my insurance and he says, "Sir, your insurance certificate is out of date." My wife normally looks after that, officer. He smiled. I think he realized he was dealing with one more administratively incompetent husband. Ladies, you know the story, I'm sure. Now, I should tell you that this event happened on the 16th of March. Okay? One day before St. Patrick's Day. So the rest of the conversation went as follows. We're having great good fun, and as you will see, it continued that way.
Okay, ladies, Butterball Turkey Talk Line. What did you think of the Irishman?
Hey, what did we think? Nicole and Sue here with the Butterball Turkey Talk Line. Connor, you were amazing. So good. So good. Engaging. We might have to even have you back. Yeah. Thanks, Connor. Turkey Talk Liners, loving it.
Loving it, yeah. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Bye.
So the rest of the conversation went, how much will this cost me, officer? He said, "I'll cite you for the red light. I'll leave you go on the insurance. That'll cost you $75, sir." $75? Do you know how many pints of Guinness I can get tomorrow for $75? The guy cracked up laughing. I think he thought I was on crystal meth. And he said to me, "Sir, if I was to cite you for the red light and the lack of insurance, this would be significantly more expensive. You'd have to go to a traffic court." So I said, "Thank you, I appreciate the break you're giving me." I pull into a very small parking lot with only one access and egress, so I had to turn the car around and drive by Officer Schmidt. As I drove by Officer Schmidt, I kid you not, he waved to me with a genuine smile. That was how the conversation had gone. And I said, "This is crazy. This guy's waving to me with a genuine smile and he's after fining me $75. And I waved back to him with a genuine smile saying, "This is really crazy. He's fined me $75 and I'm waving back to him." But what Officer Schmidt, though, would not have known was that for only $75, I had got a really memorable anecdote about the importance of asking yourself a really powerful question when things go wrong. And when things go wrong, and they will for every single person in this room at some stage, the question to ask yourself is, what do I want my attitude to be?
So, Dr. John, tell me, what do you think so far?
I think it's wonderful, Connor, and I'm glad you're here. You've managed to keep everybody coming back. They'll all be back after lunch. We've learned a whole pile of stuff. You asked us for one thing that we're learned. I've got a whole page of them.
Excellent.
It's a powerful question. If you get stuck in a traffic jam on the 88 this afternoon or 355 or going home and there's nothing you can do about it, ask yourself the question, what do I want my attitude to be? If you've got problems at work next week and something goes wrong, and it will, it's human nature, ask yourself the question, what do I want my attitude to be? If you've got a colleague who's struggling at work next week and you see that they're not in the best of form, if you can ask that person to remember what the Irish guy said last Friday, what do I want my attitude to be? It can make a difference to you. How do you feel when you achieve a goal? Give me a few words. Satisfied? Positive? Upbeat, okay? So positive, satisfied, upbeat when you achieve a goal. The reason why you feel positive, satisfied, and upbeat when you achieve a goal is that we've got neurotransmitters in our brain. And those neurotransmitters, actually, one of them is called dopamine. And what happens is when you achieve a goal, the dopamine kicks in. It's known as the feel-good chemical. The dopamine kicks in, makes you feel better because you achieved a goal. Dopamine impacts the way we react to things. That kicks in after we've done something good. So what I'm going to suggest to you is 5 daily micro goals that will get dopamine kicking in. that will make you feel better and will also help you to engage your employees. Anthony Trollope, the English writer, said that a small daily goal, if truly done daily, will beat the labours of a spasmodic Hercules. A small daily goal, if truly done daily, will beat the labours of a spasmodic Hercules. What I'm putting to you is 5 micro goals that if you do on a daily basis, it will change the atmosphere, change your organisation. Those 5 micro goals, chaps, actually spell out the acronym, chaps, and there is a 1-page handout on the table for everyone. So if we can remember the chaps acronym, it's going to make a difference. I'm going to ask you another question. Would you agree that when someone compliments you, you feel better about yourself? Yeah? Would you agree that when someone compliments you, you're likely to feel a closer bond to that person? Right? Okay, yes. So we'll flip it around another way. Would you agree that if someone compliments you, you're likely to feel better about yourself? Yeah? Would you agree that when someone compliments you, you're likely to feel a closer bond to that person? Yeah? Compliments work. It's the first letter or first micro goal in the acronym CHAPS. And here's the question I would put to you, and then we'll put it into a daily micro goal. The question is, how often do you compliment other people's work? How often do you compliment colleagues? How often do you compliment your employees? I'm not asking necessarily for an answer now, but I'm asking you to think about it. So, the micro goal I'm going to put you is that my micro goal is that when I get back to the store on Monday, I will compliment one of my employees. Let's start with 1. The idea is that if I compliment one employee, and I've set it as a micro goal, what happens is that when I'm complimenting Jose or Jeff, because I've set it as a micro goal, I'm going to hear myself saying, hey, I've achieved my micro goal and I feel slightly better about myself. But how do you think Jose or Jeff is going to feel? They're going to feel good, way better about themselves as well. A simple daily micro goal to compliment one employee each day. You can go further if you wish, but let's start with the 1. It will make a real difference. Anthony Trollope, the English writer, said that a small daily goal, if truly done daily, will beat the labours of a spasmodic Hercules. What I'm putting to you is 5 micro goals that if you do on a daily basis, it will change the atmosphere, change your organisation. For you, I would encourage you to create a micro goal that I will use positive words, positive phrases on Monday and each day going forward. And chaps, once you start doing this, you're going to start creating better employee engagement. And when you start creating better employee engagement, you are going to create a better customer experience. And the final letter, chaps, in the acronym is S. And does anyone want to guess what S might be? Smile? Okay, someone came up with smile. Actually, it is. Now, I'm not asking you to smile. What I'm asking you to have a micro goal that I will put a smile on one of my employees' face, or my customers' faces as well, obviously. Here's the logic behind this. If you put a smile on someone's face, what are you going to do back? Smile back. At least 11 times today, people said to me, Conor, I love your tie. So I've got Winnie the Pooh ties, I've got Joe Cool, Snoopy, Elmo. But the basic idea is that I wear this tie at events like this or at business development meetings to put a smile on people's face initially. It breaks the ice. When I'm finished this presentation here now today, I will not take off this tie. I'll be flying, I don't get home until 8 o'clock tonight, I think, into Chicago. But what I do know is that when I'm getting on my flight later on this evening, there'll be a flight attendant who's probably tired and just wants to get home. And as I'm walking into the airplane, I will guarantee you, I put my mortgage on it, that the flight attendant is going to have a smile on their face and they're going to say, I love your tie, because it happens all of the time. Right. Those of you, I've got quite a few videos on YouTube. If you look at some of my videos on YouTube, you'll see I'm wearing a Snoopy tie, a Winnie the Pooh tie, an Elmo tie, Peanuts or something like that. The logic is that it breaks the ice. And if you can find ways to get your employees to smile, it can make a real difference to them. CHAPS is a powerful concept that everyone here in this room can implement. And if you can remember those 5 micro goals, you will change and implement them. You will change the environment in your workplace. I'm asking you to compliment. I'm asking you to hear the words thank you. I'm asking you to address. I'm asking you to use positive words. I'm asking you to get someone else to smile. But the thing is, it's a bit like Patrick and buying the lottery ticket. You've got to be intentional about doing it. You ain't going to improve employee engagement because you want to improve employee engagement. You'll improve employee engagement because you work at improving employee engagement.